I've never told anyone this before, but you need to hear it. You have to hear what I did, because it's the only way I can live with myself. You're probably wondering why I'm telling you this now, after all these years. The truth is, I don't know. Maybe I just can't keep pretending anymore. I know you'll judge me. You should. I've judged myself every day since it happened. What I did, it wasn't just a mistake. It was a betrayal. A betrayal of everything I ever believed in, everything I promised myself, and most of all, a betrayal of my own family. But maybe, just maybe, telling you the truth is the only way I can stop running from it. I've spent years burying it inside, and it's eating me alive. So here it is, my confession. I remember that day so clearly. My wedding day. Samuel and I, we had our whole life ahead of us. We were so happy, so full of hope. I was the luckiest woman in the world to marry someone like him. He was my rock, my protector. I thought we were invincible. We had dreams, Samuel and I. Big dreams. I thought we'd grow old together, laughing and holding hands like we did on our wedding day. He was my everything, and I was his. It was supposed to be forever. But then something changed. It wasn't sudden at first, just little things. Little things that I told myself were just temporary, just phases. Samuel started coming home later than usual. He stopped looking at me the way he used to. He would walk in from work, tired, distracted, and I just accepted it. I told myself, it's just stress. He's been working hard. He'll come around. But that's the problem, isn't it? I kept making excuses for him. For months, I watched as my husband, the man who had promised me everything, pulled further and further away. He didn't need me anymore. He didn't even see me. And I felt invisible, lonely, forgotten. I waited for him. I waited for him every night. I'd cook dinner, set the table, pray he'd come home early enough for us to share a meal. But he wouldn't. He'd barely even look at me. I could feel the distance between us growing, like a canyon I couldn't cross. I tried to talk to him, to tell him how I was feeling, how lonely I was, but he just shut me out. I felt invisible. I thought maybe it was just me. Maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe he didn't love me the way he used to. I tried everything to bring us back, but nothing worked. And then I met him. Michael was different. He saw me. He actually listened. For the first time in a long time, someone actually saw me, not just the wife, not just the mother, but me. He made me feel alive, desirable. It was like I'd been starving for attention, and he was offering me a feast. It felt wrong, but at the same time, it felt so right. I knew it was a mistake from the moment we met. I told myself, it's just friendship, just conversation. But deep down, I knew I was lying to myself. Every word, every touch, it was pulling me in, and I couldn't stop it. Then it happened that fateful night. I was sitting alone in the living room. It was late, around 10 p.m., and my husband, Samuel, was still not home. The kids were asleep upstairs. Then I got a message from Michael saying,
I can't stop thinking about you. I need to see you tonight. Please, meet me. I won't take no for an answer.
My heart began racing. That I know I shouldn't do this. I know how wrong it is, but there's something in Michael's words that stirs something deep inside me. I knew I shouldn't go. I knew this was a terrible idea, but my fingers typed the words anyway. My heart was pounding, not from fear, but something else. A desire I hadn't felt in so long. Okay, I'll come. I could feel the weight of the decision pressing down on me. The sound of Samuel's car arriving in the driveway is faint but enough to make my heart skip. I rushed to freshen up, nervous but excited. I quickly changed into a simple, elegant outfit and looked at myself in the mirror, as though I'm preparing for a date. Yet there was darkness behind my eyes. Why am I doing this? Why am I even thinking about this? Samuel doesn't deserve this. My children don't deserve this. I look at my phone again. Another message from Michael pops up.
I'll be waiting for you. You know the place.
I slipped out of the house quietly, not wanting to wake my husband or children. I shouldn't be doing this. This isn't me. I'm a mother, a wife, a good woman. I've never been the kind of person who cheats. But here I am, driving to meet a man I barely know, a man who makes me feel things I shouldn't feel. My phone buzzes again.
Hurry up. I can't wait much longer.
The urge to meet him is overwhelming now. I feel like I'm losing control. I can't do this. But what if this is my last chance to feel alive again? What if this is the one thing that can fill the emptiness inside me? I can't turn back now. It's too late. I'm here, and I have no choice but to go through with it. I take a deep breath, grab my purse, and step out of the car. I walked into the hotel lobby, and spotted Michael immediately. He's sitting at the bar, waiting, his eyes locked on me as I approach. Michael's smile was soft, but there's something intense in his gaze. He doesn't touch me yet, but the air between us is charged with energy. I feel exposed, vulnerable, yet excited.
I'm so glad you came.
He said.
You have no idea how much I've been wanting to see you.
He moves closer, his breath warm against my ear as he speaks. My heart races, but my body feels like it's betraying me, leaning toward him instinctively. He's too close. I can't do this, but everything in me is telling me to stay, to feel, to be wanted, to be seen. I nervously sipped my drink, avoiding his gaze for a moment. I'm fighting with myself, but then Michael places his hand on my thigh, just a touch, but it's electric. I feel it, all of it. Michael whispered,
I've wanted this from the moment I met you. You don't know how beautiful you are. You deserve to feel wanted, you know.
My pulse quickens. I'm already falling. I try to pull away, but my body betrays me again. I leans into him slightly. We leave the bar together, walking through the hallway of the hotel. My mind is spinning, but there's no turning back now. The lights are dim, and everything feels like a dream, a dangerous one. This is it. I've crossed the line. Once we're in that room, there's no coming back. But I can't stop myself. I need this. I need him. We reach the door to Michael's hotel room. He opens it, his hand lingering on the door handle as he looks at me, his eyes dark with anticipation.
Come in. I've been waiting for you.
I stepped inside, the door closing behind me with a soft click. I feel a mix of dread and longing, but I want this too. Inside the room, the tension is high. Michael slowly walks toward me, but this time, I don't resist. My hands reach for him, trembling, pulling him closer. I kissed him so deeply and he kissed me back. This is wrong. This is so wrong. But it feels right. He makes me feel alive in ways I haven't felt in years. My hand sliding up his shirt, my body betraying me as much as my heart. I try to control it, but it's too much. The guilt is still there, but it's buried beneath the waves of desire and pleasure. And yes, the deed was done and it felt so good. But now my eyes were opened, with my face buried in my hands. Michael is beside me, but I feel alone, empty. What have I done? I've lost myself. I've betrayed everything I promised. Samuel, my children, my vows. It doesn't feel real, but I know it is. I can't take it back. Michael is silent beside me, sensing my turmoil but saying nothing. I stand up, walk to the window, and look out at the dark city. I thought this would fill the hole inside me, but it didn't. It just made everything worse. I looked at Michael one last time, and he said,
I don't regret this. Do you?
I was speechless and I just left, walking out of the hotel, with the weight of what I had done now fully sinking in. It was a long drive that night as I drove home with the guilt heavier with each passing minute. The night felt endless as I pulled into my driveway. Samuel's car was in the garage, and the house was dark and quiet. What do I do now? How do I face them after what I've done? I can't tell Samuel. I can't tell anyone. But I know, I'll never be the same. I walked into the house quietly, trying to be as discreet as possible. I don't know how to look at my family again. I knew that night, I lost myself. I lost everything. I didn't just betray Samuel. I betrayed my children. I betrayed my own values. I betrayed myself. I tried to pretend it didn't happen. I thought if I kept pretending, everything would go back to normal. But nothing ever went back to normal. I could feel the shame swallowing me whole. Every time I saw Samuel, every time I looked at my children, I knew. They didn't know, but I knew what I had done, and I couldn't undo it. How could I look at them and pretend? How could I act like everything was fine when inside, I was a wreck? The lies, the guilt, it was suffocating me. I knew I couldn't live like this anymore. I couldn't keep pretending. But I was scared, so scared. If I told them the truth, would they ever forgive me? Would they ever look at me the same way? Could I ever look at myself in the mirror again? I don't know if I can ever be forgiven. I don't know if there's any redemption for what I've done. But I can't keep hiding. I've carried this secret for so long, and I can't do it anymore. This is my confession, and I don't expect anyone to forgive me. But maybe, just maybe, I can forgive myself. I don't know if this will fix anything, but I had to say it. I had to let it out. Because if I don't, I'll keep living with this lie. And I'm so tired of living a lie. Do you think I should tell my husband? Do you think he would ever be able to forgive me? Please tell me, I need to know.